The human ship, Aurora, drifted silently in the dark space near the planet Velora. Its metal hull reflected the faint light of the nearby star, and inside, Liam checked the navigation panels with careful eyes. He was the youngest pilot in the Earth space fleet, but today, he was the only one in charge. His mission was simple but dangerous: explore the outer rim of the galaxy and gather data about new life forms. As Liam looked at the planet below, he saw colors he had never imagined. Glowing forests stretched across the land, and rivers of light seemed to flow like liquid silver. The sensors on the ship beeped, warning him of unusual energy readings. He frowned. "This isn't normal," he muttered. "Whatever is there, it's not just animals or plants." Suddenly, a bright light flashed across the cockpit. Liam leaned forward, trying to understand it. The sensors were overwhelmed. The energy signature was intelligent, and it was approaching the ship fast. Liam's heart pounded. He had trained for this moment, but nothing could prepare him for the feeling of being watched by a creature that could move faster than his ship. The planet below seemed to pulse as if alive. Liam felt a strange mix of fear and excitement. He adjusted the ship's shields and activated the scanning drones. Tiny machines launched from the Aurora and hovered over the surface. Their cameras captured images of beings unlike anything Liam had ever seen. They were tall, with long limbs and shimmering skin. Their eyes glowed softly, reflecting the light of the star above. Liam could see their curiosity, their intelligence. They were watching him as closely as he watched them. Liam's fingers moved quickly over the controls. He tried to communicate using standard signals, but the beings did not respond in any way he recognized. Instead, they made gestures with their hands, drawing patterns in the air that Liam could barely understand. The symbols seemed to contain meaning, but the human mind could not decipher them easily. One of the beings approached the ship directly. Its movements were smooth, almost like it was gliding. Liam's heart raced. The creature stopped at the edge of the atmosphere and stared at him. Liam realized that it was trying to assess whether he was a threat or something worth studying. He swallowed hard. "I have to be careful," he whispered. "One wrong move, and this could be over before it begins." Suddenly, the ship's alarms blared. A massive energy wave was heading straight toward Aurora. Liam had no time to hesitate. He maneuvered the ship sharply, dodging the first waves of light. The alien being reacted immediately, moving with speed and precision Liam had never seen. It seemed to guide the energy away from the ship, almost as if it wanted to test his reactions. Liam realized something important. These beings were not attacking him to destroy. They were testing. They wanted to understand what humans were capable of. He steadied his hands and breathed deeply. "Okay, then," he said. "If this is a test, I will not fail." He activated the ship's defensive protocols, not to attack, but to show his skill. The drones began mapping the alien energy, predicting its patterns. Liam followed their guidance and moved with the rhythm of the waves. He felt alive, every nerve alert. The alien being mirrored his actions, a silent dance of intelligence and courage. Hours seemed to pass in minutes. Liam felt a strange connection forming. He could sense the alien's curiosity, its respect for skill and bravery. It was a moment he would never forget. He spoke aloud, unsure if the being could hear him. "Humans are strong, but we also learn quickly. I hope you understand that." Finally, the energy wave slowed. The alien being hovered near the planet's surface, watching him carefully. Liam lowered the shield slowly, signaling that he meant no harm. He felt relief, but also a new sense of purpose. These beings were not enemies. They were beings of intelligence, testing him, inviting him to prove himself. Liam sent a signal from the ship, a simple pattern of lights and sounds, hoping it would be understood. The alien being responded, creating a glowing spiral in the sky. It was a greeting, a challenge, and an invitation all at once. Liam's heart soared. He had survived the first encounter, but he knew this was only the beginning. He looked down at the planet, its glowing forests and rivers of light calling to him. This was a world of wonders and danger, and humans had never faced anything like it before. Liam smiled to himself. "I am ready," he said. "Let's see what this world has to teach me." The ship descended slowly into the atmosphere. Liam felt the hum of energy all around him. Every instinct told him to be careful, yet every part of him wanted to explore, to learn, to survive. He did not know what awaited him on the ground, but one thing was certain: humanity had arrived, and it was not afraid to meet the unknown. As Aurora landed gently on the glowing soil, the alien being came closer. Liam stepped out, his boots touching the soft light of Velora. He looked up at the towering figure, feeling both small and incredibly alive. The alien tilted its head, studying him. Liam held his hand out in greeting, and the being did the same, a silent acknowledgement of respect. This was the first human to set foot on Velora. Liam felt a deep sense of pride. He knew the galaxy was vast and dangerous, but he also knew humans had the courage, skill, and determination to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The adventure had begun, and he would meet it with open eyes and an unyielding spirit. The alien made a sound, soft and musical, and pointed toward the glowing forests. Liam understood the meaning immediately. It was an invitation to explore, to learn, and to prove that humans could rise to any challenge. Liam nodded. He would accept. With a final look at the glowing sky, Liam stepped forward into the unknown, ready to show that humans were more than capable of surviving and thriving in a world full of mysteries and wonder. Liam took his first steps into the glowing forest. The soil beneath his boots felt soft but firm, and the light from the plants gave the area an otherworldly glow. Strange, tall flowers leaned toward him, their petals shimmering as if they were alive. Every sound was unfamiliar. Small creatures darted through the undergrowth, their bodies reflecting the glowing light. Liam kept his eyes wide, moving carefully. He knew every step could hold danger, but he also knew he could not turn back. The alien being he had met earlier hovered a few meters ahead. Its long limbs moved gracefully, and its glowing eyes never left him. Liam felt a mix of awe and nervousness. This was not just a creature, it was an intelligent life form, and it had chosen to guide him. He stepped forward, following the being deeper into the forest. As they moved, Liam noticed the patterns of light in the plants. They pulsed rhythmically, almost like a language. He reached out and touched a glowing vine. It reacted instantly, sending a wave of light up his arm. Liam jumped back, surprised. The alien being made a soft sound, almost like laughter, and pointed to the vine again. Liam realized it was showing him something important. The plants were alive in ways humans had never imagined. They communicated through light and energy. Liam focused, trying to understand. He tapped the vine carefully, and it responded with a brighter pulse. The alien being nodded. Liam smiled, feeling a small victory. Communication, he thought, was possible even across species. Humans were clever, and humans learned quickly. This was his chance to show it. Suddenly, a low rumble shook the ground. Liam froze. The alien being stiffened, its glowing eyes narrowing. From the forest shadows, huge creatures emerged. They were massive, with armored bodies and multiple legs. Their eyes were small, but they shone with intelligence. Liam's heart raced. He had read about large alien animals, but seeing them in person was different. They looked dangerous, but they were not attacking yet. They were studying him, just as he studied them. Liam took a deep breath. He remembered his training: do not panic, observe first, react second. He raised his hand slowly, not to threaten, but to show he meant no harm. The alien being beside him did the same, spreading its limbs slightly. The massive creatures hesitated. Their antennae moved, sensing the energy around Liam. One of them stepped forward, sniffing the air. Liam held his ground. Then, he noticed something remarkable. The creatures responded to the alien being, lowering their heads slightly. Liam realized that the being he had met was respected, maybe even a leader. The massive creatures were testing him, seeing if he could coexist with them. Liam relaxed slightly. He had survived the first challenge, but he knew this was only the beginning. He decided to try something bold. He reached into his pack and pulled out a small device that could emit soft sounds and lights. He activated it, creating patterns that mimicked the glowing plants. The creatures paused, watching closely. Slowly, one of them approached the device. It touched it lightly with its antenna, and a bright pulse of light spread through the forest. Liam's heart leapt. He had made contact without weapons, without force. Human ingenuity had worked. The alien being made a musical sound and gestured toward a large clearing. Liam followed. As they stepped into the open space, he saw something that took his breath away. The clearing was filled with enormous structures, glowing like the plants but clearly built. They were smooth, elegant, and unlike anything humans had ever designed. Liam realized these beings had a civilization, advanced and mysterious. He walked closer, feeling both excitement and respect. The alien being guided him to one of the structures. Its surface was cool to the touch, and intricate patterns glowed beneath his fingers. Liam sensed that these patterns were not decoration, they were a form of writing, or maybe even a map. He studied them carefully, trying to understand. Every symbol seemed to carry energy, not just meaning. Suddenly, the ground shook again. This time, Liam was not afraid. He had learned from the first encounter. From the shadows, smaller, faster creatures appeared. They moved with incredible speed, darting between the plants and trees. They looked like scouts. Liam realized they were watching him, learning about the human. He smiled. Humans were clever, fast learners, and he could prove it. He activated his scanner, sending soft signals toward the creatures. They paused, tilted their heads, and then scattered. Liam realized they were not aggressive but cautious. They were curious, just like the alien being guiding him. He was learning that intelligence existed in many forms on this planet. Humans had to understand it, respect it, and adapt. Hours passed as Liam explored the clearing. The alien being stayed near him, occasionally making soft sounds and gestures. Liam tried to mimic them, using hand signals and light patterns from his scanner. Slowly, a form of understanding emerged. It was not words, but something deeper. He could sense their intentions, their curiosity, and their respect. Liam felt proud. Humans were capable of building trust even with the unknown. As the glowing sky shifted from blue to purple with the approach of Velora's evening, Liam realized he had survived the first full day on the planet. He had encountered new life, navigated challenges, and even begun communicating without words. His mind raced with possibilities. He could explore further, learn more, and maybe even help the humans back on Earth understand this world. The alien being suddenly pointed to a distant mountain. Its peak glowed with a brighter light than the rest of the forest. Liam understood immediately. The mountain was important. It could hold knowledge, resources, or even more of the alien civilization. He nodded to the being. "I will go," he said. "I want to learn everything I can." The alien made a soft sound, and Liam felt its meaning clearly. It was approval. It was trust. It was a challenge. The human had proven courage, skill, and intelligence, and now it was time for the next step. Liam felt excitement mixed with determination. Humans had come far, but the galaxy was vast. Every step forward was a test, every choice mattered. He set up a small camp near the clearing. Using portable equipment, he analyzed samples of glowing plants, studied the patterns on the structures, and reviewed his scans of the massive creatures. Every piece of data was valuable. Liam knew he had to survive, adapt, and understand if he wanted humans to succeed in this new world. As night fell, Liam looked up at Velora's sky. The stars were unfamiliar, the moons bright and strange. Yet he felt a sense of belonging. Humans were explorers, learners, and survivors. He had shown courage today, and tomorrow, he would show more. The adventure was only beginning, and every moment would test his skills, his mind, and his spirit. Liam fell asleep under the glowing plants, feeling the alien presence nearby. It was a silent guardian, a teacher, and a witness. He dreamed of the mountain, the glowing forests, and the beings he had met. He knew that when he woke, he would continue to prove that humans could rise to any challenge, adapt to any environment, and earn respect even from the most extraordinary life forms in the galaxy. Morning came slowly on Velora, the light shifting from soft purple to gold. Liam woke under the glowing plants, feeling refreshed but alert. He had learned a lot yesterday, but he knew the most important discovery lay ahead, the glowing mountain the alien being had indicated. It rose in the distance, towering over the forest, its peak brighter than anything else on the planet. Liam packed his equipment carefully, checking scanners, lights, and supplies. Today, he would begin the journey toward the mountain. The alien being appeared beside him almost silently, its glowing eyes watching him. Liam smiled. "Ready to go?" he asked. The being made a soft musical sound and gestured forward. Liam understood. It would guide him, but not lead him. He had to make decisions, show his intelligence, and prove humans were capable of understanding Velora. As they walked through the forest, Liam noticed how the terrain changed. The soft glowing plants gave way to taller, more rigid structures. The ground became rocky, and the air buzzed with energy. Liam's scanner picked up faint signals of life, but they were different from yesterday. These signals were structured, almost like they were organized intentionally. He realized he was approaching another part of the alien civilization, perhaps a defensive area or a place of learning. Suddenly, a narrow path appeared between two enormous glowing trees. Liam stepped carefully, aware that the forest was not just beautiful but also unpredictable. Tiny creatures scuttled across the path, their bright shells reflecting the sunlight. Liam smiled. Humans had always found wonder in small details, and today was no exception. Every step he took was a mix of caution and curiosity. After an hour, the path opened into a wide valley. The glowing mountain loomed closer, its peak pulsing with light. Liam stopped to study it. From the base, he could see patterns carved into the rocks, glowing softly. They were unlike anything humans had made, intricate and full of purpose. Liam scanned them, trying to understand. The alien being beside him made a soft sound and pointed at a symbol. Liam focused. The symbol seemed to represent energy and life. He realized these carvings were a map or a guide, left by the civilization that had built this place. As they continued, Liam noticed movement on the slopes of the mountain. Small, fast creatures darted among the glowing rocks. They observed him, but they did not approach. Liam understood their role: scouts. He kept his distance, careful not to alarm them. Humans had learned long ago that showing respect to other species earned trust. He would use the same principle here. Hours passed as Liam climbed higher. The air grew thinner, and the glowing energy of the mountain intensified. Liam could feel it in his skin, a subtle vibration that made his senses sharper. He realized the mountain itself was alive in some way, connected to the planet's energy. This was no ordinary place, it was a center of knowledge and power. Suddenly, Liam heard a low hum beneath his feet. He froze, scanning the area. The alien being beside him raised a limb, signaling caution. Liam crouched, feeling the vibration through the rocky ground. Then, the mountain opened. A hidden entrance appeared, glowing with soft light. Liam's heart raced. This was it, the gateway to the civilization he had been seeking. He stepped forward carefully, holding out his hand to touch the glowing entrance. The symbols on the rock responded, pulsing brighter as if acknowledging his presence. Liam realized that the alien being had guided him here because it recognized his intelligence and courage. Humans had always been explorers, and now he was living proof of that spirit. Inside, the chamber was vast. The walls were smooth and glowing, covered in patterns that shifted as he looked at them. Liam's scanners picked up streams of energy flowing through the structure. It was like the building was alive, a network of light and information. He moved slowly, studying every detail. The alien being hovered near him, observing silently, its eyes reflecting the patterns of light. Liam reached a central area where the light pulsed in a circular pattern. He realized this was the heart of the mountain, the source of its energy. Symbols floated in the air, forming a language he could almost understand. He raised his hands, trying to interact with them. The symbols responded, shifting and forming new patterns. Liam felt a rush of excitement. Humans were capable of learning quickly, and this was his chance to prove it. Suddenly, a new presence made itself known. From a glowing doorway, taller beings emerged. They were elegant, with long limbs and shimmering skin, similar to the first alien being he had met but larger and more powerful. Liam felt a mix of fear and awe. These were the leaders, the guardians of the mountain. He took a deep breath, stepping forward carefully. The leader being made a soft, musical sound. Liam responded with the gestures he had learned from the first alien. Slowly, understanding began to form. The leaders recognized his intelligence, his courage, and his respect for their world. One of them pointed to the glowing energy in the center and then to Liam, signaling a test. Liam understood immediately. The mountain wanted to see if humans could work with the planet's energy, if they could understand it and use it wisely. He focused, using his scanners and tools to interact with the patterns of light. He followed the logic of the symbols, adjusting the energy flow carefully. Slowly, the pulsing light stabilized, responding to his actions. The leaders observed silently. Liam felt a surge of pride. Humans were clever, adaptable, and patient. He had learned to read the signals, to understand the energy, and to act carefully. The alien being that had guided him made a soft, approving sound. Liam realized he had passed the first part of the test. As the energy settled, the leaders moved closer, their glowing eyes showing respect. One of them extended a limb, and Liam realized it was an invitation. They wanted him to explore deeper, to see more of the mountain, and to learn from it. Liam nodded. He had come far, but he knew there was still much to discover. Humans had arrived on Velora, and now it was time to prove that they could rise to the challenges of this new world. The chamber began to shift, revealing new paths and glowing structures. Liam stepped forward, feeling the excitement of discovery. Every instinct told him to be careful, but every part of him wanted to learn, to explore, and to understand. He looked at the alien being beside him, and it made a sound that Liam interpreted as encouragement. He smiled. Humans had faced the unknown for centuries, exploring planets, stars, and galaxies. Now, on Velora, Liam was continuing that legacy. The adventure was far from over, but he had shown courage, intelligence, and respect. The glowing mountain held mysteries, knowledge, and challenges, and he was ready to face them all. As he moved deeper into the mountain, Liam felt a sense of connection. The energy around him seemed to recognize his presence. The alien beings had acknowledged his skills and his mind. He was not just a visitor, he was a learner, a human who could prove that humanity had the courage, intelligence, and determination to thrive among the stars. The deeper Liam went into the glowing mountain, the brighter the light around him became. The walls shimmered with colors he had never seen before. Every step he took echoed softly in the vast chambers. The alien beings that had welcomed him moved gracefully beside him, guiding but not leading. Liam felt a mix of awe and determination. This was not just a place of beauty, it was a test of his mind, his courage, and his ability to adapt. The first challenge appeared suddenly. A narrow bridge made of glowing energy spanned a deep chasm. Liam stepped onto it carefully, feeling the vibration beneath his boots. The alien beings paused at the edge, watching him closely. Liam realized the bridge was not solid in the way humans were used to. It responded to movement, balance, and intent. One wrong step could send him falling into the darkness below. He focused, breathing slowly. Humans had faced danger countless times and had learned to adapt. Liam adjusted his weight, stepping lightly, and felt the bridge stabilize under him. Halfway across, a sudden pulse of energy swept along the surface, challenging his balance. Liam's heart raced, but he kept calm. He shifted his stance, matching the pulse with careful precision. The bridge responded, remaining steady. He reached the other side and let out a quiet sigh of relief. The alien beings made a soft sound, their version of approval. Beyond the bridge, the chamber opened into a large space filled with floating platforms of glowing rock. The platforms hovered above a pool of liquid light. Liam looked at them carefully. Each platform moved slightly, shifting in patterns that were not immediately obvious. He realized he would have to step from one to another with precision, timing his moves with the rhythm of their motion. He took a deep breath and began. Step by step, he measured the distance, predicting the movement. The alien beings watched silently, their eyes glowing in the light. Liam's mind raced, calculating speed, distance, and timing. He had faced difficult tasks before, but this was unlike anything on Earth. Humans were explorers and problem solvers, and now he was proving it once again. Halfway through the platforms, a sudden ripple passed through the liquid light below. Liam froze for a moment, then adjusted his stance. The platforms responded to his careful balance, allowing him to continue. With a final step, he reached the last platform and felt the solid ground beneath his boots. He turned to see the alien beings nodding in approval. Humans had intelligence, patience, and skill, and he had just demonstrated all three. The next chamber was different. Instead of energy bridges and platforms, it was filled with walls covered in symbols that pulsed rhythmically. Liam realized this was a puzzle. The symbols were part of the mountain's energy network, and he would have to align them correctly to proceed. He studied the patterns, noting their flow and connection. Humans were clever, and Liam had learned to read signals quickly. He used his hands to trace the patterns in the air, following the rhythm of the glowing symbols. At first, nothing happened. He paused, thinking carefully. Then he noticed a subtle change in the energy flow. One pattern repeated in a slightly different way. Liam adjusted his tracing, following the new rhythm. Slowly, the symbols lit up in sequence, forming a path forward. The alien beings observed, and Liam could sense their respect. As he moved through the newly opened path, Liam felt a strange vibration in the chamber. It was not dangerous, but it demanded attention. He stopped and raised his scanner. The readings were unusual. Energy flowed in complex waves, interacting with the walls, floor, and ceiling. Liam realized this was a test of observation and understanding. Humans had always adapted to challenges by learning quickly, and now it was his turn. He walked carefully, observing the patterns, and noticed that some symbols responded to touch while others responded to movement. Liam experimented cautiously, using both methods. The patterns shifted, glowing brighter and forming connections. Slowly, he guided the energy through the chamber, stabilizing the flow. The alien beings made a soft, musical sound, their version of praise. Liam smiled quietly. Every challenge was an opportunity to prove that humans could adapt, learn, and excel. Finally, he reached a chamber filled with a soft, warm light. In the center, a crystal pulsed with energy. It seemed to respond to his presence, glowing brighter as he approached. Liam realized this was the heart of the mountain's power, the source of its energy and knowledge. He stepped closer, feeling the hum in his chest, the rhythm of the planet itself. Humans had always sought knowledge, and here it was, waiting to be understood. He reached out and touched the crystal. Immediately, visions filled his mind. He saw the history of Velora, its civilizations, and the lives of its inhabitants. He saw challenges overcome, discoveries made, and the deep respect the beings had for intelligence and courage. Liam understood more than he had ever imagined. Humans had come far, and now he could see the possibilities that awaited them among the stars. The alien beings surrounded him, their eyes glowing softly. They did not speak, but Liam could feel their approval. He had passed another test. He had demonstrated patience, intelligence, and adaptability. Humans were capable of rising to challenges, of learning quickly, and of showing courage even in the face of the unknown. As he stood before the crystal, Liam made a promise to himself. He would take this knowledge back to Earth. Humans had the potential to achieve greatness, and he would show that courage, intelligence, and determination could carry them anywhere. The adventure was far from over, but he felt ready for whatever came next. The alien being that had guided him from the beginning hovered close, its glowing eyes reflecting the light of the crystal. Liam reached out and touched its limb gently, a gesture of respect and friendship. The being made a soft sound, and Liam understood, he had earned trust, not just for himself, but for all humans. He looked around the chamber one last time. Every symbol, every glow, every vibration was a reminder that the universe was full of challenges and opportunities. Humans had faced unknown worlds before, and now, on Velora, they were proving again that they could survive, learn, and thrive. With a deep breath, Liam prepared to move forward. The mountain still held mysteries, and he knew that new tests, discoveries, and challenges awaited. But he felt confident. Humans had courage, intelligence, and adaptability. He had shown it today, and he would continue to show it every step of the way. As he took the first step toward the next chamber, Liam knew one thing clearly. Humans were not just visitors in the galaxy. They were explorers, learners, and survivors. They could rise to challenges no matter how great, and the universe would recognize their courage. Liam's adventure was just beginning, and the glowing mountain of Velora would guide him toward even greater discoveries. Liam had spent many days exploring the glowing mountain, but he knew he was close to the final challenge. The alien beings that guided him had become more attentive, observing every step he took. The mountain's energy pulsed stronger here, and Liam could feel it in his bones. He knew that patience, intelligence, and courage would be needed more than ever. Humans had survived countless unknowns before, and today, he would show it again. The path ahead narrowed into a tunnel lined with crystalline walls. Light refracted off the surfaces, creating a rainbow of colors that danced across the ground. Liam moved slowly, aware that any sudden step could trigger unknown energy patterns. The alien being hovered near him, making soft musical sounds that seemed to encourage him. Liam smiled. He had learned to trust these beings. Humans understood respect, and now they were earning it in return. As he progressed, Liam noticed that the crystals were not just decorative. They emitted energy pulses that formed patterns. Some pulses were fast, some slow, and others shifted unexpectedly. He realized this was a puzzle. Humans had solved complex problems for centuries, and now it was his turn. He studied the pulses carefully, following their rhythm. He used his scanner to map the patterns and adjust his movements. Each pulse he matched made the light brighter, and the tunnel seemed to respond to his understanding. Halfway through, a sudden vibration ran through the tunnel. Liam steadied himself, keeping his eyes on the crystals. Energy arcs appeared between them, forming barriers and pathways. He understood that this was a test of timing and precision. One wrong move could halt his progress. He remembered his training, the lessons of human patience and observation. Slowly, carefully, he stepped forward, adjusting to each pulse, and reached the other side. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber unlike any he had seen before. The ceiling stretched high above, covered in floating symbols of energy. The walls glowed, and the floor rippled like liquid glass. Liam's scanners were overwhelmed by the complexity of the patterns. The alien beings moved ahead, observing silently. This was the core of the mountain, the place where knowledge, power, and intelligence intertwined. Humans had always sought to understand the universe, and here was the ultimate test. In the center of the chamber floated a massive orb of energy. It pulsed with life, glowing brighter with each heartbeat-like rhythm. Liam stepped closer, sensing that the orb was aware of his presence. Humans had learned to study, to analyze, and to adapt, and now Liam's skills would be tested to their fullest. He raised his hands, sending subtle energy signals from his scanner toward the orb. The patterns shifted, responding to his understanding. Suddenly, a series of energy barriers appeared around the orb. Liam recognized this as the next part of the test. He had to align the patterns correctly to gain access. He studied the symbols floating in the air, noting their rhythm, color, and shape. Humans were clever problem solvers, and Liam had proven it many times. He adjusted his gestures, matching the signals with the orb's energy. Slowly, the barriers began to dissolve, glowing brighter as he progressed. Hours passed as he worked carefully, every movement requiring focus. The alien beings observed silently, their eyes glowing with approval. Liam felt a surge of pride. Humans had always learned quickly, adapted to new challenges, and shown courage. Today, he was demonstrating that same human ingenuity. The orb pulsed in recognition, acknowledging his skill and patience. Finally, the barriers dissolved completely. Liam stepped closer to the orb. Its energy was immense, but not dangerous. He could feel the knowledge it contained, flowing through the chamber in waves of light and sound. Humans had always sought understanding, and this was the ultimate gift. Liam reached out and touched the orb with his hand. Instantly, visions filled his mind. He saw the history of Velora, the lives of its beings, and the secrets of the glowing mountain. He realized the mountain was not just a place of energy. It was a library, a center of knowledge built to test and teach those who were worthy. The alien beings had guided him here because they recognized human potential. Liam understood that courage, intelligence, and respect were as valuable as strength. Humans had always faced the unknown, and now he had proven that they could rise to any challenge. As he absorbed the knowledge, he noticed new symbols forming in the chamber. They represented the next stage, a journey beyond the mountain to share what he had learned. Liam smiled. Humans had always explored, discovered, and shared knowledge, and now he would continue that legacy. The alien beings made soft, musical sounds, a gesture of approval and encouragement. Liam felt proud. He was not just a visitor on Velora, he was a representative of humanity. The orb pulsed one final time, and a glowing path appeared, leading out of the chamber. Liam followed it carefully, knowing that every step mattered. The alien beings moved with him, guiding but letting him make decisions. Humans had always succeeded when they trusted their intelligence and instincts, and Liam relied on that same spirit now. As he walked, Liam reflected on the journey so far. He had faced energy bridges, moving platforms, puzzles, and complex signals. He had demonstrated patience, observation, and problem solving. Every challenge had proven that humans were clever, adaptable, and courageous. The glowing mountain had tested him, and he had risen to meet it. Finally, he reached the edge of the chamber. Before him was a wide platform overlooking the valley below. The glowing forests stretched endlessly, rivers of light winding through them. Liam felt a sense of accomplishment. Humans had explored the unknown, and today he had proven that they could earn respect even from the most advanced alien beings. The alien being beside him made a soft sound and gestured toward the horizon. Liam understood immediately. There was more to learn, more to explore, and more to prove. The adventure was far from over, but he felt ready. Humans had always faced the unknown with courage and intelligence, and now he would continue that tradition. As the sun of Velora rose above the glowing forests, Liam looked out over the landscape. The path ahead was filled with possibilities, challenges, and discoveries. He knew that humans could thrive anywhere, adapt to any environment, and rise to every occasion. With determination in his heart, he stepped forward, ready for the next stage of his journey, confident that the courage and intelligence of humanity would guide him through every challenge that awaited. Liam stepped forward onto the platform overlooking the glowing forests of Velora. The energy from the mountain pulsed softly through the air, like a heartbeat, and he could feel it in his chest. The alien beings that had guided him remained nearby, their eyes glowing with a mixture of curiosity and respect. Liam knew this was the moment where all his learning, courage, and intelligence would be tested one last time. He looked down at the valley. Rivers of light wound through the forest, and massive creatures moved gracefully across the landscape. The smaller, faster creatures darted between the glowing plants, watching him carefully. Liam smiled. Humans had always been explorers, and now he was living proof of their ability to face the unknown and succeed. The alien being beside him made a soft musical sound and gestured toward the horizon. Liam understood immediately. Beyond the valley lay the heart of Velora's civilization, a city of glowing structures, energy patterns, and advanced life forms. He had proven himself on the mountain, but now he would face the challenge of showing humans were capable of cooperation, learning, and understanding across worlds. Liam activated his scanner, sending subtle energy signals ahead. The alien beings observed quietly, their glowing eyes following his every action. As he moved forward, the ground itself seemed to respond to his presence. Glowing symbols formed beneath his feet, creating a path that led through the forest. Liam realized that the mountain had prepared this path, guiding him toward the next stage. Humans had always relied on curiosity and careful observation to succeed, and that skill would serve him well now. After hours of walking, Liam reached the edge of the alien city. Towers of light stretched high into the sky, connected by bridges of shimmering energy. The buildings seemed alive, pulsing in rhythm with the planet itself. Liam's heart raced. Humans had built amazing structures on Earth, but nothing like this. Every step he took required careful observation and thought. The alien beings watched silently, evaluating his every movement. As he entered the city, Liam noticed the inhabitants observing him. They were elegant and tall, with shimmering skin and glowing eyes. They moved gracefully, communicating with each other through light patterns and musical sounds. Liam took a deep breath. Humans had always adapted to new cultures and environments, and today he would prove that adaptability once more. He made slow, careful gestures, showing respect and curiosity. The aliens paused, then responded with gentle light signals. Communication, Liam realized, was possible through understanding and patience. He followed the alien being that had guided him all this way. It led him to a central plaza where the largest structures of the city stood. Energy flowed through channels on the ground, connecting the buildings like a web. At the center of the plaza was a massive crystal, larger than anything he had seen on the mountain. Its energy radiated outward, filling the city with light and life. Liam approached slowly, knowing that this was the final test of human ingenuity and courage. The crystal responded to his presence, sending pulses of light into the air. Symbols formed around it, creating a pattern Liam recognized from the mountain. He realized the task was to align these patterns correctly, showing understanding, patience, and intelligence. Humans had always solved complex problems through observation, learning, and careful thought. Liam focused, using all the skills he had learned during his journey. Hours passed as he worked with the crystal, tracing the patterns, adjusting the energy, and observing the responses. The alien beings watched silently, their approval growing as he progressed. Liam felt a surge of pride. Every challenge he had faced on Velora had prepared him for this moment. Humans were capable of rising to extraordinary challenges, and he was proving it with every careful action. Finally, the patterns aligned. The crystal pulsed brightly, sending waves of energy throughout the city. The alien inhabitants paused, then responded with a magnificent display of light and sound. Liam realized that he had earned their trust, their respect, and their recognition. Humans were clever, adaptable, and courageous. He had shown that even in a world completely unlike Earth, humanity could succeed. The alien being that had guided him made a soft musical sound and gestured toward the city. Liam understood. The path forward was open. Humans could explore, learn, and cooperate with the Velorans. He felt a deep sense of accomplishment. This was not just a personal victory, it was proof that humanity could rise to any challenge, adapt to any environment, and earn respect across the galaxy. Liam stepped forward into the plaza, observing the alien inhabitants closely. He noticed their curiosity and intelligence. They had built a civilization that respected knowledge, courage, and skill, and now they were evaluating him as a representative of humanity. Liam smiled. Humans had always sought understanding, and now he was demonstrating that capacity on Velora. The central crystal pulsed once more, and a vision appeared before him. It showed humans and Velorans working together, sharing knowledge, exploring the galaxy side by side. Liam felt a surge of hope. Humans had always dreamed of exploring the stars, and now that dream was becoming reality. He realized that his journey was not just about survival or courage, it was about proving that humanity could contribute to the greater universe. The alien being beside him made a soft sound of approval. Liam extended his hand in a gesture of friendship. The being mirrored the gesture, and a wave of light connected them. Liam understood clearly, trust and respect had been earned. Humans were no longer strangers on Velora. They had the courage, intelligence, and adaptability to become allies, learners, and explorers. As Liam looked around the city, he felt a deep sense of belonging. Humans had faced the unknown countless times, on Earth and beyond, and they had always risen to the challenge. Velora was another test, another opportunity, and he had succeeded. The glowing mountain, the puzzles, the energy flows, and the alien beings had all prepared him for this moment. Humans could rise to any occasion, and today he had proven it. Liam turned to the horizon, where the glowing forests stretched endlessly. There were more mysteries to explore, more challenges to face, and more knowledge to gain. Humans were explorers at heart, and he felt proud to be one of them. The alien beings remained nearby, their eyes glowing softly, a reminder that cooperation, respect, and intelligence were the keys to success. With a deep breath, Liam stepped forward into the heart of Velora. He had completed the trials of the mountain, earned the respect of the alien beings, and proven the capability of humanity. The adventure was far from over, but he felt confident. Humans could thrive anywhere, adapt to any environment, and rise to every challenge. The sun of Velora rose higher in the sky, casting golden light across the city. Liam walked among the alien inhabitants, sharing knowledge, learning from them, and observing carefully. Humans had always explored the unknown, and now he was doing it on a planet far beyond Earth. The adventure would continue, but he had already shown that humanity could succeed against the greatest challenges the galaxy had to offer. Liam paused at the central crystal, feeling its energy flow through him. He closed his eyes and smiled. Humans had courage, intelligence, and adaptability. They had survived countless challenges on Earth and in space, and now they had proven it on Velora. The alien beings watched him with respect, and Liam knew that this was only the beginning of a long partnership between humans and Velora. As he looked out over the glowing forests, Liam felt hope, pride, and determination. Humanity had arrived on Velora, and they would continue to explore, learn, and thrive. The stars were full of mysteries, but humans had the spirit, the skill, and the courage to face them. Liam stepped forward, ready for the next adventure, confident that humans could rise to any challenge, no matter how great. Liam had spent many days exploring the glowing mountain, but he knew he was close to the final challenge. The alien beings that guided him had become more attentive, observing every step he took. The mountain's energy pulsed stronger here, and Liam could feel it in his bones. He knew that patience, intelligence, and courage would be needed more than ever. Humans had survived countless unknowns before, and today, he would show it again. The path ahead narrowed into a tunnel lined with crystalline walls. Light refracted off the surfaces, creating a rainbow of colors that danced across the ground. Liam moved slowly, aware that any sudden step could trigger unknown energy patterns. The alien being hovered near him, making soft musical sounds that seemed to encourage him. Liam smiled. He had learned to trust these beings. Humans understood respect, and now they were earning it in return. As he progressed, Liam noticed that the crystals were not just decorative. They emitted energy pulses that formed patterns. Some pulses were fast, some slow, and others shifted unexpectedly. He realized this was a puzzle. Humans had solved complex problems for centuries, and now it was his turn. He studied the pulses carefully, following their rhythm. He used his scanner to map the patterns and adjust his movements. Each pulse he matched made the light brighter, and the tunnel seemed to respond to his understanding. Halfway through, a sudden vibration ran through the tunnel. Liam steadied himself, keeping his eyes on the crystals. Energy arcs appeared between them, forming barriers and pathways. He understood that this was a test of timing and precision. One wrong move could halt his progress. He remembered his training, the lessons of human patience and observation. Slowly, carefully, he stepped forward, adjusting to each pulse, and reached the other side. The tunnel opened into a vast chamber unlike any he had seen before. The ceiling stretched high above, covered in floating symbols of energy. The walls glowed, and the floor rippled like liquid glass. Liam's scanners were overwhelmed by the complexity of the patterns. The alien beings moved ahead, observing silently. This was the core of the mountain, the place where knowledge, power, and intelligence intertwined. Humans had always sought to understand the universe, and here was the ultimate test. In the center of the chamber floated a massive orb of energy. It pulsed with life, glowing brighter with each heartbeat like rhythm. Liam stepped closer, sensing that the orb was aware of his presence. Humans had learned to study, to analyze, and to adapt, and now Liam's skills would be tested to their fullest. He raised his hands, sending subtle energy signals from his scanner toward the orb. The patterns shifted, responding to his understanding. Suddenly, a series of energy barriers appeared around the orb. Liam recognized this as the next part of the test. He had to align the patterns correctly to gain access. He studied the symbols floating in the air, noting their rhythm, color, and shape. Humans were clever problem solvers, and Liam had proven it many times. He adjusted his gestures, matching the signals with the orb's energy. Slowly, the barriers began to dissolve, glowing brighter as he progressed. Hours passed as he worked carefully, every movement requiring focus. The alien beings observed silently, their eyes glowing with approval. Liam felt a surge of pride. Humans had always learned quickly, adapted to new challenges, and shown courage. Today, he was demonstrating that same human ingenuity. The orb pulsed in recognition, acknowledging his skill and patience. Finally, the barriers dissolved completely. Liam stepped closer to the orb. Its energy was immense, but not dangerous. He could feel the knowledge it contained, flowing through the chamber in waves of light and sound. Humans had always sought understanding, and this was the ultimate gift. Liam reached out and touched the orb with his hand. Instantly, visions filled his mind. He saw the history of Velora, the lives of its beings, and the secrets of the glowing mountain. He realized the mountain was not just a place of energy. It was a library, a center of knowledge built to test and teach those who were worthy. The alien beings had guided him here because they recognized human potential. Liam understood that courage, intelligence, and respect were as valuable as strength. Humans had always faced the unknown, and now he had proven that they could rise to any challenge. As he absorbed the knowledge, he noticed new symbols forming in the chamber. They represented the next stage, a journey beyond the mountain to share what he had learned. Liam smiled. Humans had always explored, discovered, and shared knowledge, and now he would continue that legacy. The alien beings made soft, musical sounds, a gesture of approval and encouragement. Liam felt proud. He was not just a visitor on Velora, he was a representative of humanity. The orb pulsed one final time, and a glowing path appeared, leading out of the chamber. Liam followed it carefully, knowing that every step mattered. The alien beings moved with him, guiding but letting him make decisions. Humans had always succeeded when they trusted their intelligence and instincts, and Liam relied on that same spirit now. As he walked, Liam reflected on the journey so far. He had faced energy bridges, moving platforms, puzzles, and complex signals. He had demonstrated patience, observation, and problem-solving. Every challenge had proven that humans were clever, adaptable, and courageous. The glowing mountain had tested him, and he had risen to meet it. Finally, he reached the edge of the chamber. Before him was a wide platform overlooking the valley below. The glowing forests stretched endlessly, rivers of light winding through them. Liam felt a sense of accomplishment. Humans had explored the unknown, and today he had proven that they could earn respect even from the most advanced alien beings. The alien being beside him made a soft sound and gestured toward the horizon. Liam understood immediately. There was more to learn, more to explore, and more to prove. The adventure was far from over, but he felt ready. Humans had always faced the unknown with courage and intelligence, and now he would continue that tradition. As the sun of Velora rose above the glowing forests, Liam looked out over the landscape. The path ahead was filled with possibilities, challenges, and discoveries. He knew that humans could thrive anywhere, adapt to any environment, and rise to every occasion. With determination in his heart, he stepped forward, ready for the next stage of his journey, confident that the courage and intelligence of humanity would guide him through every challenge that awaited.